What's up, dudes and dudettes? All you awesome people! Welcome to the Geeky Heathen channel. I'm Glen, aka the Geeky Heathen, here with a comic book haul. Let's take these. Whoa, take these off. Wow, can't see a thing. These comic book 3D glasses, they're great, but when you take them off, I'm like, whoa, so disorientated, especially with my lighting I've got going on here. Can't see a thing. I went to my comic book shop today and they had an offer on: buy 5 back issues, get 5 free. I couldn't say no, so I thought I would. Oh, it really has affected my eyes. I keep rubbing my eyes. These things, we used to wear these all the time when I was young, I remember, because we used to have them all the time for loads of different comics. That can't be good for our eyesight. So I picked up 5 comics. I thought I would try something new, go for something I haven't read before. And recently I've been reading Aquaman. I was going to go pick up some more Aquaman, the new 52, but I'm buying that in the big versions, the big volumes of it, not individual as comics. So I thought I would go through the back issues and try some comics I haven't read, see what they're like. So I thought I'd share it with you guys as well, what I picked up. I picked up, first of all, Dragon Age, Knights Errant. Now, this is a comic based upon the games Dragon Age. I never played the game Dragon Age, any of them. Didn't play them, but I do like the artwork. And the fact that it's got a knight on there, it's called Knight Errant. It's called Dragon Age. Dragons, knights, that's the type of comic I'm into. And the games, I did see gameplay and I did like the gameplay of it. Did like the artwork in there, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice book. This is issue number 5, because this is the only one they had in there. But I thought, I'm not too fussed. On my first comic, I'd like to get the first one if I can, but I'll just pick it up anywhere, have a little read through it, and it gives me an idea of what the artwork's like, what the storytelling's like, the narrative, and whether or not I'm going to like it. So, picked that up. I then picked up, I was excited for this next one when I found this. Predator Hunters. Now, I am a huge Predator fan. Huge Alien fan as well. AVP. The movies were, yeah, okay, let's not get started on them. But I'm a huge fan of both them franchises individually. The game, AVP, amazing. I'm pretty certain a comic book would be great, but this is not. This is just Predator. Predator Hunters is called, and it's got a picture of a predator with an amazing looking sword. I assume it's a sword. It's jagged at the end, I'm not even sure what it is. But I love Predators. This is issue 3 of 5. So, Dark Horse Comics, same as the Dragon Age. I thought I'll give it a read. I like Predators. I love the look of Predators, so I'm sure the artwork and that will be good. To go along with that, I also picked up Predator Hunters 2. Now, I'm not sure if this is a separate series. It's very, very similar. It's got the big Predator across the top, just different colour. It's very, very similar. It's also Dark Horse, and this is 1 of 4. So, I'm assuming that this is like the second series off that storyline there. I'm not sure, but it's got an awesome picture of Predator on there, so I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm quite happy I got 1 of 4 as well. That means there's only 3 others I need to get, so I probably will go on eBay and find them. I'm pretty certain it's going to be a good storyline, or the artwork's going to look good in this at least, because it's Predator. I've never seen a badly drawn Predator, but then I've never looked for Predator images online actually. Who knows? But moving on, so I want to make this a short video. I don't want to talk too much. I picked up this comic from Image and Skybound called Birthright. Now, I haven't heard of this before, Birthright, so I just picked it up because I looked at the image on the front and I quite liked that it looked like a demony sort of flames and kind of, it looks to me like very fantasy artwork, and I am a huge fan of fantasy. So I looked this up when I got home. I haven't read it yet, but I looked it up to find out who it is, Image Comics, and the storyline, the plot line behind this series here is a young boy, I'm assuming it's in like a normal world, like our world. Young boy goes missing, the family are distraught, The father gets black accused of murder. The family's falling apart. No one knows what's happened because this young boy just disappeared. And the young boy, I wrote his name down here, Mikey Rhodes, his name is, goes missing. And then 1 year later, he reappears, turns up, and it turns out that he's been in a world. He's returned as an adult from the world Tyrannos, and it says, all it says on there when I looked it up was what happened, what horrors followed him back, and he was raised as a warrior on this planet Tyrannos. So it sounds quite interesting. I'll give that a read, see what it's like. This is issue 12. There was a few other earlier issues in this there, but I like the artwork on the front of this one, so I went for this one. I thought I'll give it a little read, see if it's something I'm interested in. And I also picked up another one I hadn't heard of before. This is from Aftershock, which is a very, very new comic company. 2015 they come up and did. This was only released last year. This is Dark Ark, and this is issue number 1. Now, again, didn't know anything about them. I have looked them up now once I've got home from the comic book store. I just saw the front and it looks like a warrior or a wizard and a load of dark creatures. So I thought, yeah, very fantasy looking. I like the cover. I'm going to give this a read. I've looked it up. This is very interesting. It's based upon this guy here. I'm assuming it's this guy here. It's based upon a sorcerer called Shrey the Sorcerer. And it Ark as in Noah's Ark. So along with Noah's Ark, apparently this sorcerer was charged with making an ark because God decided to destroy the earth, like in the Bible, biblical terms. And so you had Noah building an ark for the normal creatures, and this sorcerer called Shrey building an ark for all of the fantasy type creatures, for unnatural creatures, I think is the terminology they used, but all fantasy type creatures. And I've got a list of them here. What it said on there, it says vampires, dragons, the Naga, and the Manticore. Imagine an ark, a ship full of them creatures. I'm interested to see what the storyline's like. I mean, I imagine the artwork in this is going to be amazing because you have all these type of creatures all together on one ark or one ship. So I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Hopefully I like it. Looks good. I'll give it a go. And then I picked up the last 5 I picked up. 3, 4, yeah, the last 5 comics I picked up. All from the same series. There's 12 in this series, 1 of 12. I picked up The Dark Crystal. The Power of the Dark Crystal. I love the artwork on this. So I picked up issue 1 of 12. I couldn't get 2 or 3, but I then picked up 4. I picked up 5. 6. And 7. Now, I absolutely love the Dark Crystal. I really love the artwork on this first one. Now, I loved it when I was younger. I remember watching this when I was younger. So, the Dark Crystal, 1983. Jim Henson. It's a puppets, and at the time, this was technologically so far ahead of any other game. The animatronics in it was absolutely mind-blowing, and the puppetry was absolutely amazing. Everyone was blown away. This was 2 years before Labyrinth was released, before Jim Henson did Labyrinth. And I remember loving this when I was young. I think it was absolutely amazing. I have rewatched it quite recently. I've rewatched it, and I don't think it's held up as well as Labyrinth. It's one of the movies that was very good at the time. I still get a lot of nostalgia from it, but it's not as good to me. I mean, it's still great. Love the storyline, love the puppetry, the animatronics is great, but it hasn't aged well, I don't think, personally. I mean, I might be wrong. Comment down below if you think it is aged well and it's still good, but to me personally, I don't think it's aged as well as some other older movies. Dark Crystal, if you haven't seen the Dark Crystal is all about these little creatures here. These are called Gelflings. Now, there's one Gelfling left in this land, and in this land, it's controlled by. Well, these are the mystics around him. These are the Gelfling is orphaned and he's raised by these mystics, and You had, oh, I can't remember what they're called, the really bad guys in it. Oh, you can't see any of them. There's no artwork for any of them on there, just the warriors. Is it no, not Skraelings. I really can't remember what they were called. Gelflings were the cute little ones, and the mystics were the things. It's not Skraelings or Skrael. I've completely and utterly forgotten what they were called. But the bad guys, they worship this crystal. The crystal is shattered, and it becomes this Gelflings. Is prophesied to repair the crystal. Once he repairs the crystal, if that happens, then order and balance can be restored to the world. If not, then the bad guys, whatever they're called, I can't remember what they're called, they will take over the universe of the world and forever. But it was very good, and I really loved the artwork on these comics, so I thought I'll give them a read, see what they're like. I have probably waffled on far too long about these few comics. I just want to show off the comics I got, show you my little comic haul. Let's get a little comic chat going on down below. Has anyone else read these comics, or what comics are you reading at the moment? What do you think of these comics I bought? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a thumbs down. If you're new here and you want to see more geeky videos by me, why not subscribe down below, and whilst you're there, smash that bell icon so you can be notified each and every time I upload. But I'm Geeky Heathen. As always, much love, and until next time, stay awesome.